Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member Cardin, and thank you both for being here this morning. I certainly applaud, as all of us do, the important difference that the small business programs made, the PPP programs and the EIDL programs have made for businesses in New Hampshire. We've had 22,000 businesses that have received over $2.5 billion. Senator Cardin, though, very eloquently expressed my frustration at not being able to get information as we were looking at changes that we need to make to the program so that we could ensure that what was working continued and what wasn't working could be changed. And so it's like closing the barn door after the horse has gotten loose, but I think all of us would like to feel like we're getting regular information so that as we're trying to perform not just our oversight mission, but to look at what we need to do to make changes, that we have that data in front of us. And so I hope that that will be more forthcoming in the future than it has been in the past. I want to follow up on Senator Scott's question about a second round of help, because we're hearing, our office is hearing from a lot of small businesses in New Hampshire who got the original PPP loans, who are about to run out of money this week or next week. They did everything that was prescribed in the program. You know, they hired back their people. They, have been waiting to start up their businesses, many in the hospitality and tourism industry, which are the last to open up. And in New Hampshire, that's a significant part of our economy. And now they're about to run out of money, about to be in the position of having to lay off those employees again, and are worried about whether they're going to go under in the next couple of weeks. So Senator Cardin talked about the legislation that he and Chris Coons and I have been working on to try and look at a second round. When we've got $140 billion still remaining in the PPP program, I would hope that we could all agree that this is an opportunity that we should take advantage of for those businesses that need continued help. I know the jobs numbers were better than expected last week, but 13% unemployment is still not acceptable, and we don't want another whole round of layoffs because we have small businesses who got help and now can't get additional help when they need it. So I hope you will both be open to that. I don't know if you have a view. You talked, Secretary Mnuchin, about needing some more time to look at that, but for some of these small businesses, they don't have extra time.
Well, again, let me just emphasize, we are 100% committed to making sure that people that have lost their jobs get back to work, and people that have their jobs can keep their jobs. That's an absolute priority of ours. As you've said, the unemployment rate is still way too high, no fault of their own. And there's no question that small businesses in many industries are going to need more help. So we look forward to working with the committee and the rest of the Senate on a bipartisan basis to include incentives. And whether it's through the PPP or others or tax credits, we're open-minded, but we absolutely believe small business, and by the way, many big businesses in certain industries are absolutely going to need more help.
Thank you. Administrator Carranza, you talked about the effort to move the EIDL loans through the program, and I think that's probably the program that we've heard the most frustration from businesses in New Hampshire about, and we are still hearing from them on a daily basis that they can't get information about the status of their EIDL loans. So you talked about expecting all of the ones that are in the queue to be approved by next week or to be acted on by next week. What can we tell those businesses that are calling our office about how to get information because they're not able to get through on the toll-free line in the SBA to get answers to their questions?
Well, Senators, I will emphasize the amount of resources that we have added at the phone center. There's 3,000 versus the few hundred that we had a couple of months ago, and then we've added approximately another 1,000 when we talk about the paralegals and whatnot to reconcile some of the loans. With regards to, and I'm going to get in the weeds a little bit to explain why the visibility of a loan is not realized with this new automated system. What we understand on the traditional legacy system, it had a lot of visibility. That's the system that would manage all of the natural disaster loans. When we had to ramp up and do a surge processing input and throughput, what was not built was a what we call a loan tracking visibility, and that's why it has limited visibility. We have visibility on the intake, and then when they get notified by email that their loan is progressing, and now it's a matter of they make a decision whether they want to pursue the loan and whatnot. So there is this gap that there is no visibility. We did not have, because of time, because of the urgency to just get that machinery up and running, we did not allow the engineer to build that piece. And so now it requires particular loan officers to view that. We are in the process of fixing that because we are now being prepared to accept more applications besides the ag, and we have a few 100,000 waiting in the queue and we'd like to take them on. We've learned a lot. The amount of communication that's necessary, the amount of face-to-face contact, not just emails, because we have made available up to 9 contacts within the time frame that we're speaking to about a loan status. We have about 65,000 that want to re-enter and be reconsidered for more funds, and we're working through that as well. So there's about 2 or 3 portfolios we're working through to make sure that we provide a lifeline. It may not be the $2 million, but what we can provide is a lifeline to many more at that particular cap. And so we're looking to activate that. When I made reference to applications being all in the queue by next week, all of the 5.4 million applications that we've had since March to this date are now going to be in that loan portal, which they're making an assessment on. And the reason we're able to do that is that we went from a production where a loan officer processed about 3 to 5 loans a day to now 50 loans a day. Wow. And so because of that surge, we're realizing more efficiency, and I look forward to resolving those issues very quickly. And I do look forward to communicating with you now more often. We did have conference calls with the committee and members, such as the chairman and the ranking member, Senator Cardin. It wasn't frequent enough, but I pulled away from the operations, and now I'll be able to personally meet with everyone and update you much more frequently.
Well, thank you. I think that's very important, and I'm out of time, but the more transparent we can be, the more people understand what's going on with the program, the less frustration and the more understanding we will have. So thank you both, and I hope we can continue to have a bipartisan approach to helping the small businesses in this country. Thank you.